House Minority Leader Representative Hakeem Jeffries of New York has strongly denounced recent remarks made by Piker, a left-wing political commentator and online figure, after Piker suggested that Jewish Americans could be inciting violence against themselves due to their support for Israel. Jeffries characterized the assertion as both dangerous and antisemitic, affirming in a social media statement that there is no justification for threats against the Jewish community, particularly in an environment marked by increasing hostility. In a subsequent CNN interview, Jeffries further described Piker's comments as malicious and called for a unified rejection of such rhetoric in the public sphere. Jeffries is the highest-ranking congressional Democrat to directly address the controversy, which arises in the context of ongoing tensions within the Democratic Party, some of which have been attributed to the influence of Piker and other progressive activists during the current election cycle. The dispute intensified following Piker's broadcast last week, during which he displayed an image of State Senator Jeremy Moss, the Democratic nominee in Michigan's 11th Congressional District, who is Jewish. Moss has previously indicated that a fabricated audio recording has circulated, falsely alleging that his candidacy is solely motivated by pro-Israel advocacy. During the stream, Piker remarked that if American Jews continue to be perceived as singularly invested in Israel, it could prompt individuals to take hostile actions against Jewish Americans domestically. Piker, who has garnered a substantial online following, has repeatedly criticized Israel's conduct in its war against Hamas in Gaza. Other Democratic lawmakers have joined Jeffries in repudiating Piker's commentary. Representative Hillary Scholten of Michigan called attention to Piker's hateful tactics, while Representative Susie Lee of Nevada emphasized on social media that attributing violence against Jewish Americans to their support of Israel is both unacceptable and inherently antisemitic. Lee urged vigilance in combating antisemitism in all its forms. Representative Josh Gottheimer of New Jersey, who is Jewish and a vocal supporter of Israel, also condemned Piker's statements, likening them to Nazi rhetoric and labeling them as incitements to violence. He directed criticism at Abdul El-Sayed, the Democratic Senate nominee in Michigan, suggesting that El-Sayed's response to Piker's comments was inadequate and warning fellow Democrats against any further association with Piker on the campaign trail. Piker has been a visible supporter of El-Sayed's Senate campaign, participating in several campaign events. In his own statement, El-Sayed asserted that only he and his campaign speak for his candidacy, reiterating his opposition to antisemitism and affirming his commitment to the safety of Jewish Americans. He further called for the protection of all Americans' rights to peaceful advocacy, especially those who have faced intimidation in the past. The controversy has also drawn comment from Republican figures, including Mike Rogers, El-Sayed's opponent in the Michigan Senate race, who criticized both Piker and El-Sayed and called for El-Sayed to fully distance himself from Piker and his remarks. Abdul El-Sayed, who previously served as Wayne County Health Department Director and ran for governor in 2018, would become the first Muslim member of the U.S. Senate if elected. A physician and public health advocate, El-Sayed has prioritized policies such as Medicare for all and the abolition of immigration and customs enforcement. He has also publicly criticized Israel's military actions in Gaza, describing them as bloodthirsty and alleging acts of genocide by Israeli leadership against Palestinians. While El-Sayed has called for conditioning U.S. aid to Israel and has not taken a direct position on Israel's right to exist, he has consistently expressed solidarity with Th.